I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. What's up, Drake?
What's
Live.
okay?
Um, and let's check the phone because we gotta make sure that this audio is capturing because we just did the check, so the check is good.
Sound check. Sound check.
Sound check, whatever. One, two, three, into the four. Stoop, doggy dog, and Dr. Dre's at the door. Um, guys, most times because I'm building my confidence in just the audio engineering and then putting everything together. Um, should we double check, triple check, quadruple check
You
everything?
got to.
Got to, because I don't like having good time and then I capture the content. So let's double check. So yeah, it should be the one that's saying live right now. Yeah, it should be the one that's saying live right
Good.
now. Yeah, we good.
Okay.
We good. So um, we're gonna do a quick post on Instagram because the link that I went sent everybody was wrong. So I just gonna send them this quick link real quick. Get this out of the way. What's up, guys? Loa'a here with this Scrappy podcast. We're live right now. What I did wrong was I just did the test on the live scheduled one that I did, which I gave you guys all the link on Instagram. So if you're there and it's done, it's showing up as an error. It's not there. Um, just go to the same link or go to the Scrappy podcast on YouTube. It shows live, and then I'm gonna put the link right here on the bottom of the screen so that you can tune into the actual live version. Okay, and I'm gonna tag Drizzy, and then Drizzy is gonna tag other people in it. Okay. What's up, guys? Malama here with this Scrappy. Okay, go
Scrappy.
Scrappy, and then going to YouTube right now. Go get the link. You know, like get the link real quick. How do you find the link? Share. Okay, click on the share. Copy link because this is the one hanging with Drizzy. It says hanging with Drizzy, literally, and then put them in the link. Drop the link. Uh, episode 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 6. And then add Drizzy. Okay, Drizzy. Shows live, and then I'm gonna put the link right here on the bottom of the screen so that you can tune into the actual live version. Okay. And I'm gonna tag Drizzy, and then Drizzy is gonna tag other people in it. Okay. Boom. Okay. Sent to you. Let me know you got it. Sweet. So now we know how this podcast is gonna work with Loa'a and Drizzy when it's just menu. You know how around them, you know the kind.
We trying. We trying.
We're not just trying, we're doing it, motherfucker. I got soul, but I'm not. I like that song. The song's been on my mind lately. ¿Qué pasó, bro? What's going on? What's
Not
up?
much.
What's up with the glasses?
Oh, it's too bright in the studio.
What the
We're at
feet?
Westwood Studios again.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out. Yeah, the lights be bright, so I bought the glasses this week.
You look like a G.
Thank you.
Okay, let me bring up the actual. So tell the people what actually inspired you to wear the glasses tonight, because some people are gonna be curious.
Cause I look major. Now, one of the comedians I follow,
Well, you can
he
name
always
drop,
got
or
glasses
are you
on
just
and
not gonna?
whatnot when he does podcasts, and so I figure I just follow his lead.
You don't have to grab the mic, right? Because
Yeah, no, I just moving it back and forth.
okay,
Gotta get used to a little bit.
yeah. Topics. Definitely want to cover at least some of the stuff that I wrote down because pretty juicy. You know, okay. Boom. Here we are, guys. Welcome to the Scrappy Podcast, episode 6. live with Loa'a and Drizzy, and it's Friday, April 5th, 2024. Going live. Sorry, I messed up on the links. We'll get that. We'll get that better for next week or the next podcast.
Happy National Burrito Day, by the way.
Today's National Burrito.
National Burrito Day. So
Oh,
go eat your guys' Mexican food.
okay. I was gonna ask you what kind of burritos are you talking about. So we're talking about Mexican food. Cool. So that's clear. Um, so starting with this, a lot of people, since I've been promoting the Scrappy podcast, I've been able to get what it's about in 2 sentences. Because I was talking to one girl and she was like, "You need to get that in 2 sentences, Loa." I was like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll get it in 2 sentences. It's about fighting for your dreams." That's 1 sentence. So I beat her. But I also want to take the time to just share. I wrote down some things, and it's what the Scrappy podcast is about. And we believe in fighting for your dreams. Some characteristics of a scrappy person is strong, determined, resourceful, never gives up, never lose heart, and even towards or never loses heart even towards a loss or a win, and willing to argue for or fight for what you want. And yeah, that's pretty clear cut. Drizzy, what do you think about that?
I mean, that's the definition of being scrappy, I guess. I mean, that's anything with your dreams that you should fight and believe for. So I agree.
I also want to lift Drizzy up right now too. I remember when I first started my entrepreneurial journey was with this guy named Pasquale. Shout out Allegrini Mozzarella, Little Italy, Hawaii. Mamma mia. At Little Italy, Hawaii, Instagram. Go check them out. They got one location downtown, and they got one location in the Royal Hawaiian. Just find them on Instagram and you can find the location. Italian food straight from Italy. But I remember when I first met Pasquale, I had taken the risk and whatnot. I was in town, and then somewhere along the way, kind of embarrassed to say that. One night, it was after we finally got into that. I think it was Jefferson Elementary School right there on Kuhio and Kapahulu Avenue. It's an elementary school, and we got into that farmers market. And so we did, the farmer market thing. We had some panzerottos, some Italian food, right? And then after we had a meeting at study hall right over there on University and Beretania. And so we had a business meeting after. We just had a debrief. We sat and talked about how it went. He paid me, like I think it was like 20, $50, whatever for the day that we made. And then, we had a drink or two
Or three.
or three. And then 8 o'clock came around and we're like, oh, let's go salsa dancing. So from study hall to salsa dancing was at the district. So Pasquale left. He was driving that green Porsche at the time. And so he parked at second floor because where there was back parking lot. And then we took my car. I was driving the Ford
C-Max.
C-Max. Not Climax.
Hybrid.
Not Climax, but C-Max. And so we went to the district. Dan Sosa. It was roughly 9 o'clock to 11. We after salsa night is done, or we decided to leave, we came back to
Study hall.
And we was pulling into the parking lot. So coming down, heading Mocha, which is mountain bound in Hawaii, Mocha towards the mountain, heading Mocha on University. And then the parking lot entrance is on right turn. So this was a Thursday night in 2018. April 21st, 2018. I remember the night, Thursday night. It was college night, right? Because this was right below University of Hawaii.
Right down the road from UH, yep.
Right down the road from UH. So it's college night. So you had a bunch of college students. Had a couple, these guys were 6 feet, 6'3", maybe minimum 225, three guys trying to turn in. And they standing right in the entrance. So, car pulling in, we felt like we didn't have to roll down the window or say anything, just like common sense. Hey, move out of the way. This is a parking lot entrance.
Correct.
So we don't have to open our mouth or roll down the window. But it took a little bit of a while for these guys to move. So I rolled down the window. I was like, "Hey, guys, can move." I was driving, and then the guy called something around the lines between a cunt or a bitch is what came out of this
They
guy's
said
mouth.
bad words pretty
They
much
said bad words, and so me being the immature older guy
at the time.
at
Yeah.
the time, get out of the car. I was like, "What you said?" And by the time I said what you said, I was right up to his face. And so this guy's probably. I was looking out my mouth my neck was extended like this because I was looking up to this guy. Must have been like 6'3", 6'2", around that age or around that height. And I was like, "Don't ever call me a bitch," or whatever he called me. And he grabs me by my neck, throws me, throws me across my hood. I fall over the C Max onto the driver's side because when I walked around the car, he was on the passenger side.
Hmm.
So he threw me over the hood, and I'm on the ground. He jumps on me. Pasquale is in the passenger seat. Comes out. I remember I had my orange
Flask.
flask at that time.
Hydro flask.
Hydro flask. No, it was called 50-50 because Hydro Flask, his wife, did divorce.
Got it. Got it.
He got the
Back to the story.
yeah. Anyways, so he come out with the orange flask, and he's like, "Who like lose their teeth right now?" Of course, right? So all the guys' boys back off. I still on the ground. The guy pulling me back, and then he get off of me. I get up. I'm stunned. I look around. He's about 20 feet away. I charge, try throw and kick, miss, fall down again, and then we're going back and forth. By this time, me and Pasquale are about at least 20 or 30 feet away from the car. Two doors open. Two people jump in the C Max, take off. Car gets stolen. Two iPhones, one iPad,
All your personal
five grand
belongings
in cash, personal belongings,
all gone.
all gone. Pasquale's Porsche keys are in there, which is just the keys by itself is $300. His car is parked at the top. We got to call the towing company because we got to move him. I'm out of the car because I was doing Uber at the time, and
All kind of trouble.
all kind of trouble. And what was not one trouble was that I was able to sleep at your place and have one place for stay and have one roof over my head, some food to eat, and support. Which a lot of times when those kinds of situations happen and you don't have that kind of support, oh, I'm a jang that kind. I mean, where you go
Yeah.
sleep on the beach or whatever. But I had that kind of support, and then within like 2 weeks, I was able to find a job. That's when I started at Duke's, right? But yeah, so appreciate the you and Bronson being there for me
Of course, anytime. I mean, if it's, I know that was a bad time for you, but even if it was a good time, like we always got you.
for sure. And same here, like whenever I can support.
And that story, I mean, I think that leads into the thought of the week. What do you think?
Oh, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So I could have, I mean, I don't know what kind of options were there for me at that time.
I mean, for me, I think about it like I have this thought when I have like road rage. Road rage. You could stick the finger or swear or beep your horn, but me, I just let it go because it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it
What, you're not
that
the
what
type of guy to
matters.
stick finger on the
Under
dashboard,
under the dashboard.
especially if it's someone.
Yeah,
You're like, yeah, that's funny. This thing is funny.
never clipping good. Stay hammerjang right now, but we get in there.
We locked in now, dog. We locked in. Yeah. So even with some of my friends this week, just personal things are happening around the world, or even just in your own life. It's about how you react to it, and that's what the scrappiness is about, right? Is no matter what happens, how do you respond? And a lot of times, a positive way to respond is to be resourceful, be determined, never give up, and no matter if you're losing or you're winning, um, you're gonna push through. So it's perseverance, it's it's fortitude, and that's what we hear about. That's what we're talking about. And the thought of the week is not what happens to you, but how you react to it is by this Epictetus was a Greek Stoic philosopher. Because I just like knowing where things come from. I'm the guy that always defines words, and I want to know where information comes from. This is also Wikipedia, so take it with a grain of salt. I'll just read what this guy was, so you can go check him out. So Epictetus was a Greek Stoic philosopher. He was born into slavery at Hierapolis, Phrygia, present day Pamukkale in western Turkey, and lived in Rome until his banishment. When he went to Nicopolis in northwestern Greece, where he spent most the rest of his life, his teachings were written down and published by his pupil. Most times, a pupil was someone that was just like a scribe, so it was
Okay.
like someone that followed him and took notes. And his pupil was Arian in his discourses, and I don't know how to say that word, Enchiridion. Epictetus taught that philosophy is a way of life and not simply a theoretical discipline. To Epictetus, all external events are beyond our control. He argues that we should accept whatever happens calmly and dispassionately. However, individuals are responsible for their own actions, which they can examine and control through rigorous self discipline, which goes back to the thought of the week, right? It's we can only control how we respond
And how you react. Yep.
and how you react, and not only how we respond is the thoughts that we have. Like, this is what I believe: we are in control of what we think, the decisions we make, and then what we do, our actions. That's everything outside of that, which Epictetus talks about, is everything external. We don't have control over that. We can control only what comes from the inside.
Yep.
Which leads us to the Kahuolelo Kapule, Makolelo Hawaii. If you need me to translate, that means the word of the week, Imua. What is Imua?
To move forward.
Where did we get Imua from? Or what's something common that we have about Imua over here?
I think our alma mater. We both went to Kamehameha, 2010 graduates.
Yeah.
So I mean, Imua is pretty relevant in our lives, if you could say. What do you think?
Well, I was just thinking, like, you left in seventh grade. What, your mom then decided to apply, or you and ask?
They applied. So I applied from so you can get in kindergarten, fourth grade, seventh grade, then I guess ninth grade.
What is Kamehameha Schools, by the way? Just so
Uh,
people that
it's
don't
a
know.
Hawaiian. You gotta be Hawaiian blood to go to that school. And it's a private school, founded by Bernice Powai Bishop and Charles Reed Bishop.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean that's where we got our education from, and yeah,
Yeah. So mom then went and apply what? Fourth grade.
I applied from kindergarten, but I
Oh,
got
so you
in.
tried from
Yeah,
kindergarten. Every chance good. You guys
correct. Yeah,
applied. And
my
just you or everybody, all the siblings?
all the siblings. So I went there, and my youngest sibling went there. Also,
Oh,
my cousin went there.
oh, Diani is in grad too.
Yeah,
Oh, I totally forgot about that. I remember her graduation party. Yeah.
we're not gonna talk about
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Not yet.
Yeah,
Um. Okay. So you was the only one that got in.
and
Oh,
my sister.
Diani and
Yeah,
Diani. How many song contests Diani then won?
totally not too sure. Song contest just happened, right?
Song contest just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, just happened. Okay, so you got in seventh grade. So you went to Wai'anae Elementary. How did it feel when you left Wai'anae Elementary? Because I
Uh,
mean, who did you know that was already there?
I didn't know nobody that was going there, but we had two or three more people from Wai'anae Elementary was going, so that was kind of who I stuck with going there.
We're like name drop. Who are you
Nah,
talking
we,
about?
we don't need name drop,
Oh, okay. We
but I
don't
think it
know.
was like three of us going
Okay.
there. But I remember in Wai'anae Elementary, sixth grade, they they you remember they calling us on the stage and it's like, oh, these guys going to Kamehameha next year.
What is that like? One of the assemblies?
Yeah, you know how we
I
had
don't
that
remember.
outside.
I actually don't remember.
Okay, yeah, well, we had to go on the stage and whatnot, and they was like, oh, they were showing us off pretty much.
Well, I mean, it is a kind of a big thing
Yeah,
for like Wai'anae students to go Kamehameha.
but going there, I didn't know what to expect. Um, but I mean, it
So
was great.
in your 2 years before I came, because I know what happened after ninth grade when I got there, but in your 2 years there, how was it? I mean,
It was like,
obviously you met Bronson, which is one of our good friends now. We
yeah,
used to live with him.
yeah, he's in my homeroom.
Okay,
Um, it was good. I mean, it was a transition that took time. It was a lot more structured. That I mean, just jumping from elementary to middle school is already a
transition.
transition. Correct. You go from, I don't know how they do education nowadays, but K through six is usually with like maybe one or two teachers. Then when you go to middle school, that's when you start getting periods like 1 through 7 or whatnot. So you're going through 6, 7 different teachers a day. So just that alone was a transition, but I mean, I thought it went pretty smoothly. How do you feel when you went to Kamehameha?
Well, the story I keep on telling people is, um, I remember a couple of our friends getting held back in sixth grade
Okay.
when I got to seventh grade. I don't know if you remember. Um, and so that kind of like struck me and some made me feel some type of way, right?
Yeah.
Just like some of the boys that we used to grow up with, ride bike, meet at the park, um, play basketball with, getting held back in sixth grade is just unusual. Uh, and so that made me feel some type of way. And then seventh grade was cool at 1A intermediate, the Manihunes. Shout out to the Manihunes. And what I would say would be a typical intermediate experience was typical. I didn't it didn't change. I think it just changed that a lot of the Wai'anae Coast elementary students
Hmm.
were mostly now congregated at one
Correct. Yeah.
school, Wai'anae Intermediate. So there's a lot more students there from different elementaries on the west coast of Wai'anae on Oahu. So that was different.
Your energy drink rain. You had these before?
I don't know, but the Harvest Grape feel like
Cherry.
it's grapey. I was
Yeah.
gonna say cherry, but it's not cherry. It's grape.
Are you an energy drink guy or you more of a coffee or tea or
Um, I can do it all.
okay, you
Uh,
have a favorite out of the three?
I like what tastes good. Coffee, good coffee will hit the system, and then boom, I'm on. And I think that's the same with energy drinks. And what was the other thing? Tea.
Tea, yeah.
Tea is if I'm like feeling nostalgic or like if I'm gonna meet up with a girl for like a date.
You have a
it,
favorite tea?
black tea. I know for like
Booty is my favorite.
what's that?
Booty.
Booty, like Buti.
No, Booty.
Oh, booty. I like that.
So you'd say what? You're mostly a coffee guy then?
Right now it's coffee
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, coffee.
The wifey turned me on to coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
gotta have them iced though. I don't like them.
Even in the morning, even if
Yeah.
it's cold.
Ice all day.
So if he was in 0 degrees,
Ice.
iced coffee.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's intense.
But if I had to choose one, energy drinks
How
for
you guys
sure.
make you guys coffee?
At home we got the coffee maker. Then we just make a batch, then throw it in the fridge.
Yeah.
I think she likes hers hot, but yeah, I prefer mine iced.
Prefers yours iced.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, this rain, storm, clean energy is not bad.
Zero sugar.
Zero sugar.
Yeah.
I was on this other one called what is it called? Shucks, I can't even think right now. Energy drink.
I've been taking these I think it's called beet pills or chews actually. It's like an energy chew to replace take drinking energy drinks because I usually drink like one a day when I'm drinking them. But these Beat Energy Chews is pretty good. I got them from Sam's.
I mean, does it do the job?
Yeah, I mean like
Beat energy
yeah,
juice.
like the beet, like the what is that, a fruit
Yeah,
or a
yeah,
vegetable? Yeah,
BET.
BET.
BEET.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a good one. I'm
I
not
heard
sure.
that's like a natural like you know how some men take Viagra and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah, like they can eat a lot of beets or drink beet juice and
Yeah,
then it'll help for what do you call that? Like ED, right? It's called ED, erectile dysfunction
yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. So beet juice can help with that. The name of the energy drink that I was turned on to when I was in Arizona is called Ghost. So that one is zero sugar as well. Uh, and there was this, I forget what the flavor was that was really good, but the one that I'm looking at right now, Sour Patch Kids. A lot of it was like Sour Patch, kind of candy, which is awesome. Legendary Energy, Epic Focus, zero sugar, no artificial colors. That's what they lead with on the branding. But the CB, this is my opinion on like energy drinks, sugar or energy drinks and coffee and whatever to wake you up. Is that like anything else, you can become reliant on this
Correct. Yeah.
to to start your day, right? Or
Hmm.
like some people are like, my day doesn't start till I have coffee.
Yeah.
Which recently I've been relying on that. That's kind of like I've been in that mode of like, bruh, I just took a risk and took a full time job again, and it's nice because it's right here in Kakako,
Okay.
and 10-minute walk.
Do you feel the need though now? Like you kind of relying on like coffee or energy or
I am because bro, so I work 8 hour days and then I work 8 hours after work because
okay.
one of my friends we've been talking about scaling like scalability, and what that means is okay, one study just came out, $58 and 80 cents to live comfortably in Honolulu, which a lot of people, despite the whatever the economy is, but just living in Hawaii alone is expensive.
Okay.
Everybody can agree on that. And so if it costs $53 and I'm making 40, I'm making 20 an hour at this place. So 53 minus 20 is 33. So I need to make up that $33, right, to live comfortably and make that $111,000 a year. Because if you do that by 40 hours in 52 weeks, just comes up to that math.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to make this podcast a full time income.
Okay.
And so the rule is that if you put in 8 hours at one 9 to 5 job, you got to put in 8 hours into your dream.
Okay.
And so that's 60. I mean, if you're doing the math, that's minimum 16-hour days. And sometimes, like my brother told me the other night, he was like, "Bro, slow down, relax." And
Sometimes a pick me up helps though. That's why I mean
so
you go
coming back
to
to it,
coffee.
right? Like coming back to that is if I'm going 16 hours, I'm not superhuman. Although sometimes I think I am superhuman, Superman. But I'm not Superman. And I gotta, having a pick me up or having something to supplement. But recently I've been catching myself and I've been reliant on it, and thinking that this is gonna help me, and it does. It
It does.
does.
Yeah.
It does. It
I
helps
can
to
feel the difference.
can feel the
Yeah.
difference. It happens physiologically, and so and that's only for now, for the short term, because we got to get work done, we got to fight for our dreams, and nobody else is going to do it for me, uh, other than myself. So that's my take on that.
Cool. You want to get into one of the topics?
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's bring it up.
How about we start one number 3?
You want to start with number 3?
Yeah.
You want to take the lead on that?
Yeah.
Drop it like it's hot.
Oh, you can read it. I don't have it on my screen. That's
Okay.
fine.
So let's move into the stories. This first one is brought to you by Hawaii News Now, and the title. By the way, just letting you guys know, I got my first training on OBS, which is a software that allows us to show you the screen. Just takes a little bit more time, so I'm sorry you guys can't see the article right now. I can post it in the description. But anyways, best trip ever. A Hawaii woman is $1 million richer after hitting the jackpot in Vegas. And then here we go. We'll quote the story. It says a Hawaii woman is $1 million richer after a trip to Las Vegas. The California hotel and casino posted that the woman hit the jackpot while playing Wheel of Fortune in a post on Instagram. The Cal wrote the guest had an unforgettable weekend in quotes after a $10 bet, taking home more than 1 million. Big congratulations to the lucky winner. They got a picture on the Instagram, the casino, and the board
She
reward.
hiding behind the big check in the picture.
So
Everybody
one,
gonna come out the woodworks.
how much in tax you think she paying for that?
Probably after tax, she probably gonna get like 700 grand, 800 grand.
So that's
It's
that's
like
actually
regular.
a really good question. So was this casino is in California
No,
or is it in Las
it's in
Vegas?
Las Vegas. Yeah,
So
downtown.
so do you know like what the typical tax rate is on anyone that's winning a lottery or any of those kind of rewards?
I'm assuming it's like a regular federal tax, so maybe like 25%.
I wonder if you can just look that up real quick. Try to look up real quick taxes that casinos charge uh, in Las Vegas.
Yeah, 24%.
Okay, so let's do the math real quick. So she won on the check. Let's bust out the calculator. So what was that 1 million? 1,172,072
72. Just make
thousand
them like that.
626 626 times 24%. Yeah,
Yeah.
24%. That's 281,430. So minus
Yeah, so
one
about
one
800.
two 726 Yeah, I did that math wrong real quick. So roughly 11 million, 1.1 million minus 208,000. So yeah, roughly 800,000. That's not bad.
I mean, yeah, off of $10.
I mean, let's just say she makes $14 an hour in Hawaii.
She'll be living comfortably.
And
What would be like
I mean that per year, right? If you do the math, so it's 111,000 per year. So for at least 8 years, she'll be living
yeah,
comfortably if she operates within a budget.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What would be like a first purchase for you, or like a big purchase if you was the winner, the lucky
I
winner?
would take like 25%, put that all in cash in one black duffel bag, and give them to mom.
Okay,
And that's the first thing I would do. Just like when big dog just, hey mama, get the full bag for you. She'd be like, oh, what this? And that's for her.
yeah,
The other 25%, which would be 50% of that, I would pay off all her debts. So, and then
give me a guilty pleasure spending.
first thing that came to mind was strip club, but I think you know me now, I wouldn't do that. That was the first thought. I think right now would definitely hire one producer.
Okay,
So we have someone operating the camera. I don't have to worry about that when we come set up. That's already. We'll definitely invest in one studio, so we don't have to set the shed up anymore. The
got
stuff
it.
is just ready, and we just pop in, show up, blow up. Uh,
No 88 lifted Toyota.
not that kind of guy. With that kind of money, I probably would buy one. Probably an $80,000 to $100,000 Tesla.
Okay.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
because I mean, if you get one lifted Toyota, then you'd have to worry about the tires. What kind you going to get?
Yeah.
Swampers, boggers, IROCs, Mickey Thompsons. I don't give a fuck.
I run this coach. The only thing we're running right now is this podcast.
Okay.
Um, what about you? What would be your first purchase or your first thing you do at 800,000?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'd probably take another trip.
Where?
Probably do like a cruise or something.
You guys been doing some cruises lately. Where you guys been going?
Last one I did was for our honeymoon. We did it was a cruise out of Florida. So we went to a couple different spots. Jamaica, Caribbean island,
Jamaica.
Cayman Islands, Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Bacon
Bacon
and
and
eggs.
eggs.
Oh yeah, it's fun though. I mean, if you've never been on a
Explain
cruise,
to the guests what bacon and eggs is, just in case they don't get it.
so if you say is it beer can and eggs and
Jamaican.
yeah, what is the words you supposed to say?
I don't know. I just always
Yeah,
every time I said it was just bacon
beer
and
can and
eggs.
eggs.
Bacon and eggs.
We need our other friend to do.
Basically bacon and
We need
eggs.
our other friend to do their Jamaican accent.
Cool. Who's good at it?
JD.
Oh, JD.
You ever heard his
No, I'm pretty sure you can do something, do that stuff pretty good.
that during that COVID we used to watch Top Shotters.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah,
You used to get all that footage from.
you know the
For
vibes. Yeah, I got all the footage. Anyway, moving on. We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, probably
Bacon
take a
eggs,
cruise.
Jamaica.
Maybe I don't know, invest in something. Maybe a house here or a house there, somewhere.
So where would you buy a house here?
Probably on the west side, closer to home.
What makes you want to do that? I mean, like of all the places you could buy a house, you can go Wai'anae, which is home, of course, but
Yeah.
you can go back there anytime.
Cause it's a special place, just like Brada is said.
Well, I get you. I'm
Yeah.
just curious what your mindset behind it is, because that's why, like, you know,
Because even though it has a negative stigma, you can't beat no place like home.
where's home?
Why not?
Wai'anae.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I have a dream for the Mill Street house too. Um, turn that into one beach house. Like
Yeah. That'd be cool.
that can be the kind of like how mom and dad's place or your sister's place, right? All the time get party or whatever
Yeah.
that place, but right now it's not that haven. But I have that dream for that place.
Did you go see them this past weekend for Easter?
No, because the last 21 days I worked 17 days. I had one day off in between, so I was already tired, so I wasn't gonna catch the bus because I don't want my Acura anymore. So no
Okay.
more car. So I'm catching bus. So I'm not gonna catch bus for just one day, unless I mean, if I feel up to it, I'll do it. But
Yeah.
like working that much in a short amount of time. The last 2 weeks I'm on bus like 84 hours, lifting rocks, pavers,
Yeah, I was out there this
pots.
past weekend for we actually celebrated three things this past weekend. We had Easter, my mom's birthday, then we had to celebrate
Happy birthday, Auntie Cheryl.
yeah, happy belated.
Happy belated.
Then we had to celebrate my auntie. She finally bought mango pie to
From where?
she made them.
Ooh.
But I
You
mean,
just said bought.
not like bought to the
Oh, brought to
yeah.
the house.
Yeah, so you know how my family is. Everything is big production with them. So like early in the week, we got the text in a group chat, like what everybody bring in and whatnot. And she put mango pie, and you already know I was cooking in the group chat. I had
What
the
you said.
I had the meme of Rose from Titanic. It's been 84 years.
Well, because you guys was waiting that long for trial.
Yeah, and actually I looked and I actually documented the last time I documented that she bought mango pie or I had mango pie was like back in 2012. So I don't know if we had mango pie in between or whatnot, but
It's been 12 years.
it's been a long time that we had mango pie. And she finally bought, so she bought enough for us to have for Easter and for everybody take home pie. So this whole week I've been just
You still get
munching
you
on
still get mango pie at home.
gone already, guys.
Like,
But yeah, that was the three things we celebrated this past weekend.
Do you even like pie? Are you a pie like enthusiast?
Not really. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't go out of my way unless it's Auntie's mango pie.
But we definitely are. What was that dessert we always used to get from Zippy's after we used to work out? We used to go to Zippy's and go eat.
The Jello cream squares.
Oh, Jello cream squares. Yeah.
By the way, those ones is seasonal. No,
Okay.
yeah. So
But you go out of your way for Jello
mango pie.
or mango pie.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go out of your way for mango pie. Or you would?
Would, yeah.
Oh, you would. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a pie connoisseur.
Yeah. Me either. We were talking about this. Me and Marado was talking about pie.
I mean,
Uh,
even like desserts in general. Are you a big dessert guy when you go out to eat or
not really.
no? Yeah.
I mean, like depending on how I'm feeling, I'm down for like a what they call that, like a lava flow, not a lava flow, but like a vanilla bean and like chocolate cake.
Okay.
What they call those, lava, some kind of,
I don't know.
yeah, lava cake or something, right?
Yeah.
Ice cream and chocolate cake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm down for that. But anything else outside of that, I'm not gonna seek pie or any kind of other dessert.
Yeah.
I
Most of
mean,
the times when I go out to eat too, I'm like already full from the entree.
the entree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's, yeah, I'm not. I like sweet stuff, but I don't go out of my way for dessert.
Okay.
Depends on what kind of dessert we're talking about, though.
Yeah. The kind you eat.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. Anyways, cool. Let's move on to the next story. Let's check it out. What's the other one? What's the next one? We go to number one or number two? Let's
Up to you. You can
let's
choose.
go number one because that one kind of juicy, and we get about like maybe 15 minutes left. So let's. This story is J.K. Rowling dares police to arrest her for misgendering under Scotland's new hate speech laws. Some might be risky, but let's go for it. I'm gonna read a little bit of the story. The reason why I picked this story is one, grew up with J.K. Rowling, uh, super super into Harry Potter. Potter, Harry. And just remember, like, I have a vivid memory of going to a couple of theaters. I think it was in elementary. One of our classes, or in elementary, we went to a couple of theater to watch the first movie. So it's kind of like a big part of our life growing up in the early 2000s. And so there's a special part of me. My ex girlfriend was a big Harry Potter fan, so before we go to sleep, we'd watch, whatever Harry Potter she wanted to throw on. So sleepy time movies, we called it. But J.K. Rowling dares police to arrest her for misgendering under Scotland's new hate. Go straight into the article. It says best-selling Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling. I said that like 3 times already. Her on Monday as the country's controversial hate speech law takes effect, highlighting the government's threat to, quote, freedom of speech and belief, unquote. Under Scotland's new hate crime and public order, stirring up hatred, quote unquote, with threatening or abusive behavior based on characteristics including age, religion, sexual orientation, and transgender status is punishable up to 7 years in prison. Racial hatred Racial hatred has been banned in Scotland since 1986, and while the act does not ban hatred against women, anti-misogyny laws are forthcoming. We know that the impact on those receiving end of the physical, verbal, or online attacks can be traumatic and life-changing, said Scottish Minister for Victims and Community Safety, Sal Behay Brown. This legislation is essential element of our wider approach to tackling that harm. Lawmakers in Edinburgh insist that the law includes sufficient free speech protections, including the right to ridicule or insult religion. Scottish First Minister Humza Yousaf claimed that, quote, the threshold of criminality in terms of the new offenses is very, very high indeed, unquote. Quote, your behavior has to be threatening or abusive and intended to stir up hatred, unquote, he argued. And then there's a video of Sky News. I can share that with you guys later. Yusuf has himself been accused of a form of, quote, hate speech, unquote, in recent years after complaining about the number of white people in the Scottish government. However, the Hate Crime Act's critics argue that it's overly broad and gives preferential treatment to certain groups. Foremost among the critics is J.K. Rowling, a noted anti-trans feminist who called the law ludicrous. Well, she's been labeled an anti-trans feminist. The law ludicrous and warned that it will silence quote unquote, gender critical discussions. As the law took effect on Monday, Rowling posted a high lengthy X thread listing biologically male sex offenders, most of whom preyed on women and young girls that now claim to be women without violating the Act's prohibitions against misgendering. The author describes the consequences that the law will likely have on women who will fall victim to sex crimes. Scotland's Hate Crime Act comes into effect today, she began. Women gain no additional protection, of course, but well-known trans activist Beth Douglas, darling of a prominent Scottish politicians, falls within a protected category. Phew. She accompanied this with the photos of Douglas holding knives and axes and posting threats against anti-trans companies.
So I'm seeing her tweets. A lot of it is mostly calling out like what you would consider bad apples in the group. Don't you say?
Mhm. Yes, but also like the first thing I'm thinking is reading this article is that they're creating a law uh, that possibly right infringes on free speech. So if you say something, because
And the law that they put into effect is very broad, so it comes down to interpretation of a lot of things. Like
which is super subjective.
yeah,
I could say something, somebody else could say something, and then like there's no fine line
hmm
of what actually is a hate crime.
yeah,
So it leaves it up to most times they assign a task force or disciplinary boards or
got it. Yeah,
or like depending on who has the most money or who wants change, right? And they'll effect that onto or subject people to these rules or these regulations. And if they don't like you, they can mess up your career.
hmm yeah. So in her tweets, she basically calling out men that changed into women
Yeah.
to pretty much get out of whatever they was accused for, or
Right now, I'll actually just read her post. And I'll post this in the link if you guys are interested at all. But J.K. Rowling on April 1st, she posts April Fools. Only kidding. Obviously, the people mentioned in the above tweets aren't women at all, but men, every last one of them. In passing the Scottish Hate Crime Act, the Scottish lawmakers seem to have placed higher value on the feelings of men performing their idea of femaleness, however misogynistically or opportunistically, than all the rights and freedoms of actual women and girls. The new legislation is wide open to the abuse by activists who wish to silence those speaking out about the dangers of eliminating women and girls single-sex species. The nonsense made of crime data if violent and sexual assaults committed by men are recorded as female crimes. The grotesque unfairness of allowing males to compete in female sports, the injustices of women's jobs, honors, and opportunities being taken by trans identified men, and the reality and immutability of biological sex. I'm not going to go more into that. I just want to talk about that alone of this right here. Unfairness of allowing males to compete in female sports, the injustice of women's jobs, honors, and opportunities. You've heard stories of these actual trans. So how do you pronounce it correctly? If you're a man biologically, and then you turn into a woman, that's a trans woman or a trans male?
I believe it would be trans woman.
Trans woman.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they transitioning to
A
a
woman.
woman.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Trans woman.
if
So
I think that's how it
okay. Yeah.
is. Yeah,
So these trans women are participating in women's sports
it's been happening for what do you say, the last couple years.
last couple years.
Yeah,
How is that even fair? Is that fair?
I don't think so. That's why they had that swimmer. I don't know what her name was or his name, but he was like out of the top 100 in the men's his junior year.
Mhm.
Then his senior year, he decided to transition into a woman, and he was winning all the medals in swimming
Just from that standpoint alone, like I don't like for me, I personally don't care if you decide to uh
transition. Yeah,
transition like
yeah,
from
me
a
neither.
male to a woman,
You see, oh, laugh.
yeah, and from a woman to a man. I don't really care about that. But like that right there specifically, just like zoning into that, that's super unfair. Like
Yeah,
you literally are
there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of. I wouldn't say loopholes, but like I mean, taking advantage of this whole community and giving them a bad name. Because I mean, I know of a few trans people. I mean, they're normal people to me.
yeah.
So I mean, I think it's like how everything is in life. I mean, you always got a few bad apples that ruin it for everybody. And in this case, that's what I think J.K. Rowling is calling out the calling those people out
Yeah,
in her tweets.
and especially because I think they've attacked her. I don't know what the original story was, but they came after her for just the. I'm assuming it's the media that's attacking her
Correct.
based
Yeah.
on what she's saying. Right?
Hmm.
They're taking whatever she's saying out of context and making her look bad,
Yes.
which isn't that's a whole separate issue.
Hmm.
But this is her clapback.
Got it.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good. You handled that pretty well. I didn't expect that. I didn't know how we were gonna handle that conversation. That's cool.
And there was just this past Sunday was Trans Visibility Day.
Yeah, I have a thought on that too.
Speak on it. Let's hear it.
So I would say the majority, the LGBTQT
Then there's some other letters, but
A
yeah.
plus, and then I think the T in there stands for trans, right? In the
Yeah,
LGBTQ.
yeah.
Okay. So that community is roughly by you guys can fact check me, like 2% of the United States. And you know, I forget who came out with it. They have like 164 days within a year that are recognized by them,
Hmm.
or Pride Month and all that kind of stuff. So it's roughly 164 days that they're represented because of their minority in the U.S. and just their representation. But I would say that Christianity, which a lot of the United States foundation is based upon, so there's a bigger market of Christian folks. I'm not saying
Hmm.
we're a Christian nation because a lot of things are questionable right now and just the
Yeah.
way that the United States is operating. But just as far as general statistics go, we can get into that or we can get fact checked or whatever. We can go into that. But for the most general part, the United States is Christian. And for Christians, right, I feel like that's a punch in the face, especially on Easter Day, which is supposed to be celebrated as Jesus' resurrection. So, I feel because I also have some Christian background. I believe in God. Do I act out, or follow the Bible 100%? No. But I think that that was a punch in the face to most Americans.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
You know, I did a little bit of research on it. Then the way the media was spinning it was Joe Biden announced that Trans Visibility Day was that day or not, but it's been the same day for like the last couple years. So it just so happened that Easter and Trans Visibility Day lined up this year
This year,
together. Yeah,
because even Easter is later
because
than it normally is, right? This
yeah,
year.
because it's not usually the same day, but I guess Trans Visibility Day was always for the past couple years been March 31st. So just this year it lined up, and that's the way the media spinned it. So initially, I thought he announced it Trans Visibility Day
In place of
this
Easter.
just this year, but I guess it's been happening for like the last couple years. So I mean, take it with a grain of salt how you want it, but yeah,
Yeah. No, that's good, and that's why.
because yeah, initially I was misinformed. I thought, oh, what is he doing on Easter announcing this? But I guess
So, what
it's
made
been
you actually research that? Like, you just curious?
yeah, just curious.
Just curious.
Yeah,
What'd you do? Just go to Google and like
yeah,
what?
just a little.
What was your form of research?
I actually listened to it about a podcast. Then I did a little research on it myself.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Isn't it awesome? You can watch podcasts, hear information, then research it, and then come to your own conclusion.
correct. Yeah, I mean, I'm more of like a. I just listen, put in the AirPods while I'm at work and then listen to it and whatnot. But yeah, it's good. I mean, that's where I get most of my news information and whatnot. Instead of watching like cable or like your traditional way of getting news.
Yeah, that's dope. That's awesome. Well, cool. I got one last thing. Are we getting to that time? Right here. bust this out. You can grab one. You got one of those. You can hook the sticker. So I got. I'll read it. It's in your hands to take a stand. Clean water for our descendants. Please sign the petition to shut down and clean up the Red Hill Underground Fuel Storage Facility. So Malama Ikovai.
What does
Uh,
that translate to for the
Malama
people?
Ikovai means take care of the water, and especially right here. If you guys are watching, scan that QR code real quick. I'll hold this up real quick, and then I'll put the link inside the description after this. Malama Ikovai. So Malama Ikovai is take care of the water. Hawaii doesn't have pipes running from the United States. We have aquifers, which are under the island, and the Board of Water Supply taps into those aquifers. We pump the water up. We supply water to all the homes. And this particular source of water near Red Hill, which is on Oahu, roughly right by Pearl Harbor. In the 40s, the United States Navy created these underground storage facilities for fuel for the